What's up, guys? Couple things I wanted to talk about in this video. One, the shitty video quality. Not sure why it got so shitty all of a sudden as soon as I started recording, but oh well. As you might be able to hear at some points during the video, there's a lot of fireworks going on outside because tomorrow is the 4th of July and people are getting ready for it. One of the main things I want to talk about in this video is I want to get my YouTube channel going, kinda. I mean, I know I've said it before, a lot to myself. I want to start posting videos somewhat regularly. Hopefully I can get a schedule figured out eventually, but for now I'd just like to start posting once in a while, you know? Like I said this a couple years ago when I started, and I want to post a lot. I want to post frequently, you know. Didn't happen. I tried again, I started making videos, I started editing a bunch. Just didn't get to post them. They either got deleted or they were saved on a thumb drive and never got loaded or what. But I'm going to try again. I'm going to give it my best shot. I'm going to start posting some stuff. And one of the big reasons is because of what's been going on lately. Now, a lot of the reason why I haven't been posting is what was going on previous to this. You know, I was going through school when I created my YouTube account and decided to post stuff on it. And so I was somewhat busy there, but not as busy as I had been. I got done with school, moved back home, YouTube channel got neglected. I went back to work. You know, I was trying to get some stuff in there. Channel still got neglected. I mostly used the channel just to subscribe to people that I like watching. I hadn't really posted anything of my own for a while, so I threw a video or two on there. Nothing after that. I couldn't get into throwing videos on regular again. Got busy again, decided to change jobs, went to a different job, got even more busy. Spent a lot of time doing stuff around the house and doing stuff at my job and hanging out with my friends and, you know, just really trying to find my place in life, you know. Young guy, I'm always doing that stuff. Everybody always does when they're young. They're looking for the best, they're looking for the jobs, looking for the girlfriend. And then, you know, lately stuff kind of went downhill, you know. I had kind of a depressed spell there for a while last year and couldn't really get my ass out of bed in the morning. Which, of course, didn't want to post videos because I didn't want to do anything in my regular life. That was just extra stuff I didn't need. Finally got out of that. Decided to change jobs again, which is another thing I want to bring up in this video, which is the reason for the kind of clickbait, I guess, thumbnail that I'm going to throw on this video. I changed jobs. I changed careers completely. I was a mechanic. I was working on diesel pickups for a long time. And then I went to school to work on bigger diesels and came back, started working on diesel pickups again. Got bored with where I was at. Changed jobs, went to a new company, working on semis. I was working for a Kenworth company. So I was working on a lot of Kenworths and some Peterbilts and Freightliners and once in a while a Volvo or something, but working on big trucks didn't really fit my schedule, you know. I love the work, I love mechanicking. I just couldn't get along with the people at the branch I was working at. Not all of them, there was a couple of them that were kind of a pain in the ass, but most of the guys were pretty cool. It's just those couple pain in the ass guys really got on my nerves sometimes. So, I dealt with it the best I could. I decided, hey, I'm going to get my CDL. Might as well. I'm working on big rigs. I could do a lot more with a CDL. And the company was wanting to give me a raise if I had a CDL because I could do more diagnostic stuff. Especially if I could legally drive it on the road rather than just around the yard. So, I went into training to get my CDL. Or I was going to get into training. I was getting money set up. I was going into training. And all of a sudden, I got injured. Injured on the job. It's a long story. It's kind of a weird story. I got injured because of a oil pan exploding. I know that sounds weird. You're thinking, oh shit, that's how the hell did that happen? Not an oil pan on a truck. Some of you guys that might have worked in a mechanic shop, especially with big rigs, might know what I'm talking about. But we had an old school metal drain pan. It was probably 8 or 10 inches tall, 3 foot around, had a handle on it, a couple of air hoses. And what you do is you roll it under the truck, you open the top, you drain the oil into it. Now these big trucks, they're 14 liter, 15 liter motors, they take a lot of oil. Let me see, I think I put like anywhere from 10 to 12 gallons in quite a few of them, maybe more on some. Especially the Kenworths, the newer ones take like 14 gallons. Or am I thinking right? Maybe. I don't know. My math is going weird here. It's getting late, but so they hold a lot of oil. You drain it into this thing. You close the top back up. We take it outside. We have a waste oil container that we put it in. So this is where the air hoses on it come in. When you close the top, it's an airtight seal. So the only way in is an air hose, and the only way out is a probably inch round hose. You take the inch hose, stick it in the waste oil tank, plug the air hose into an air truck, and it pumps the oil out via pressure. And there's like a pressure regulator on there so that, you know, there's supposed to be a relief valve and everything so it can't overpressure and do this type of shit that it did to me. Now, it had been repaired. I know it had, and don't tell anybody about this, but I had worked on it about 2 weeks prior to this accident. A fitting busted off. All I did was take the old fitting out, both pieces from the valve section and from the tank itself, and I put a new piece in and put it back together just the way I found it. So it had worked for a couple of weeks after I fixed it. I know it wasn't something that I did to it, but I went to use it. Something sounded off. There was an air leak somewhere on it. I couldn't figure out where it was, so I bent over a little bit, and I'm looking for it, I'm listening for it, and all of a sudden, just boom, hits me right in the face. Literally jumps off the ground with 30 quarts of oil in it, probably still. Jumps off the ground, hits me square in the face. It broke my nose. It broke a spot in my orbital, and it gave me a good scar across my eyebrow right here, and a good scar right there in my nose where it broke. So, yeah, I was gushing blood everywhere, oil all over the ground. I'm like looking for the air hose to unhook it, and then I see this blood everywhere. I'm like, oh, fuck. I'm not unhooking it. Somebody else can deal with it. I ran back into the shop. Luckily, I'm going to say his first name, my buddy Brian. A very nice guy. Loved working with this guy. My buddy Brian saw me and he's like, oh fuck, dude, what happened? Well, I'm gushing blood everywhere. No time to explain. He's like, well, jump in the service truck, let's take you to the hospital. So he goes and grabs the service truck. I run for the front counter. I got, my boss came running out to see what the hell was going on. Handed me like a floor rag that we just got out of the box. So it was clean, it was sanitary. Just peeled it out of the box, it was brand new. Put it on my face, you know, keeping the blood off of it. And rushed me to the hospital, got a bunch of stitches. About a month later, I was all healed up pretty good, you know. Got my stitches out a couple weeks later. And took me a while to get used to having a broken nose because it hurt. And it was right there in the spring next to allergy season. So I was like, please don't get allergies. Please don't get allergies. You know, don't sneeze. Don't sneeze. And even the doctor said if you sneeze, that crack in my orbital, the fracture could be worse. I got away really lucky to have very minor fractures. And the doctor said it's surprisingly healed really nicely. And though it'll never be the same, they're not far from it. So I got away really lucky. But after all of that was said and done, like I said, it took me about a month. I was back to work in probably, what was it, 2.5 weeks. I went back to work, did a couple of small jobs, you know, a few oil changes. Changed the oil in the diffs, do some services, you know, all that good stuff. Fixed a few airlines. Well, I started going to CDL class. Now, I finally got everything in order, got the paperwork done. I started class. It was great and everything was going fine. Class started at I want to say class started at 8 sharp. So we'd be there around 7:45, just because I like being early. And me and my father did it together. He had a CDL a long time ago, had some unforeseen circumstances, let it go. He wanted to get it back. Where he was working wasn't doing real good money-wise, job-wise. He wasn't getting work like he was supposed to, so he wanted to get back into it. He went and got his CDL with me. Everything was good. We jumped into class. The only problem with that is we didn't get off of class until like 4. So 8 to 4, not a huge day, but Kenworth, being the company that it is, working on big rigs is a 24-hour day job. The shop I was working at, parts closed at like 9, service closed at 11. So I was working basically from like 4:30. I'd get off, I'd run down the street, get dinner from like Burger King or something, run back, go to work, 4:30-ish, till 11 o'clock at night. Get home at like, not quite 12 o'clock, 11:30, 12 o'clock. Of course, I was hungry by the time I was done, so I'd go eat dinner and everything. I did have a lunch break per se. I didn't like taking a big lunch break. They gave us 30 minutes. I'd usually take like 15, 20 maybe. Well, I guess by that time I had started getting a little more fed up, so I was taking 30 minutes sometimes, but I'd take a 15, 20 minute break, eat a snack, go back to work. When I get done, I'd be tired, hungry, miserable, so I'd go get something to eat. I'd get back to the house about an hour. So it was like 12 o'clock when I got home, go to bed. Well, I'd take a shower first because I'm covered in grease and oil and stuff. And then I'd go to bed, and then wake up and do it all again. Wake up at 6:30 so I can eat breakfast, get clothes on, make it to class by 7:45, drive all day, practice backing, drive down the road, videos, training, all that stuff. I also had homework through them. To get your CDL, when I was in it, I'm not sure if it's still going to be the case by the time some of you guys watch this video. I'm sure if it's recent to when the video goes up, it will be the case, but they have a series of videos that I guess my buddies had to watch them in class, which would have been really nice, but there's a series of videos that we had to watch. And the school I went through, you take them home, you watch them. Well, they email them to me, you watch them. You answer questions, you got to get a certain percent right, A lot of them are like, you got to get 75% or 80% or 90%. Some of them are 100%. Like, you can't fail a single question on some of these ones because they're super important. So, there was a lot of shit going on, And so I finally just decided, you know what? I can't do this anymore. I asked my boss, hey, can I get some time off to finish this class? Now, it wasn't necessarily an issue, other than this was like a Wednesday or Thursday, my second weekend, I think, of the CDL class. It was really weighing heavy on my shoulders, not getting home until midnight, and then waking up in 6 hours. I wouldn't even fall asleep at midnight. It'd be 1 or 2 in the morning before I could even fall asleep. And then I'd have to get up at 6 o'clock-ish. I slept in as much as I could sometimes, so it was 6:30, 7 o'clock before I get up. Drive a half an hour over there, drive all day. It was getting a little tiring. I wasn't ready for it yet. But the boss was like, can't do it, man. We need you here at least today. And I'm like, dude, I'm running on like 4 hours of sleep last night. I had trouble sleeping that night. Like, I'm running on like 4 hours of sleep that night. I'm running on about 20 hours of sleep the whole week. And it's only Wednesday. You'd think, 8 hours a night, I'd get a little more than that. But I was getting 6 at the most. And I had trouble sleeping the night before, so I didn't even get that. So, I probably did the wrong thing. I didn't show up to work. I just made up the excuse, I went home to do some homework real quick, and I was going to come back, and I fell asleep. That's not what happened. I went home, I didn't do homework, I fell asleep. I full well knew I was going to. Was not planning on going back in. I fell asleep. Came in the next day, handed him my resignation. Said, sorry man, can't do it. Got my toolbox, turned in my laptop, and my diagnostic stuff. Grabbed my toolbox and I left. Went home. Finished my CDL school, got my Class A, ready to go, Decided, you know what? I don't want to go back to mechanicking. I've had a little bit of a rough time, like the past probably year before that point. It got rougher as it went on. Like, it started out just me and the guy I was working with were arguing at a different shop before Kenworth. We were arguing and having issues with each other, and it wasn't a bad deal necessarily. I mean, I still like the guy. He's a cool guy. He taught me a lot, and he kind of got my mindset into being a good mechanic rather than just a slap shit together mechanic, which some of you guys might have different opinions on that, but I like being a good mechanic. I like knowing what I'm doing it right the first time, so I don't have to go back in a bunch of times, waste a bunch of money doing stuff. That's the person that taught me that mindset. But, you know, we had our issues. I left. I went to Kenworth. I had more issues, more immediately, with more people. And I decided, you know what, I don't want to be a mechanic right now. I still love the work. I still do it on the weekends. And actually, the job that I got has me mechanicking on the trucks once in a while anyway. Like, they've got guys that'll deal with their reefers, and they got guys that'll deal with their trucks and stuff, but simple shit that they don't need to spend a bunch of money for, they got me working on it. So, it's not a bad deal anyway. I'm still doing what I love. And now I'm actually doing two things that I love. Because I've always loved trucks. Always loved watching them drive down the road. I live right next to a cold storage. For those of you who might not be truckers or might not have heard that term, it's basically a big freezer. It's where all of your frozen fruits and vegetables, and I think maybe even canned goods go in some of them, but anything that is locally harvested and frozen goes to this place that I live next to. So I've always watched the trucks drive by, always loved seeing all the cool trucks and the trailers, and I always loved riding my bike down there and just the smell of the diesel and the hot rubber coming off of them trailers. You know, they always just enthused me about that. So I decided to get my CDL because of stuff like that, and because my dad had it before, and because, you know, I was working for a company that I could have used a CDL for to get. Turns out it wasn't a big raise, but to get a raise and to advance my opportunities with the company. But it wasn't working out. I didn't want a mechanic. I was getting a little discouraged, so I went to find something else. Couldn't find a job, though. And I mean, this is the point where, for some of you guys that are looking at getting your CDL, some of you guys that may have had your CDL for a while and you're looking at changing jobs, or maybe you've had it or you just got it or something and you're looking for a job now, you're in the same situation I was here recently. This is the part of the video that's for you guys that have some of these questions. I had a hell of a time getting a job. Now, one of the reasons I went with the school that I went with is because they had a reasonable reputation. They were fairly new, so it was a small class, lots of one-on-one time with the trainer, lots of time in the truck. I think we spent like half of the first week in the classroom, and then the other half of the first week we were half in the classroom, half in the truck. And then from then on, it was 3 weeks of straight in the truck training. So when they laid that on me, I was thinking, cool, great, that's exactly what I need. I know some of the rules and some of the DOT stuff and some of the little things, you know, because I've been mechanicking on them. You have to know that to work on big trucks sometimes too, so I knew some of it. I needed a lot of practice with the driving it, because it turns out I thought I was a good driver before. I know how to drive stick. I've owned 2 automatic vehicles in my lifetime out of 6 or 8 trucks that I've owned. I only own trucks. I've never actually owned a car. I've driven a few cars, never actually owned a car. I always own pickups because of the line of work I do. I'm a farmer as well. I know I'm a jack of all trades, master of none. But I thought I was a pretty good driver, you know. I don't speed too often. I mean, sometimes I like to have fun and wrap her up a little, but I don't speed. I try not to swerve out of my lane. I try not to drive like a jackass. You know, I actually know what a turn signal is. I like using it. But there's a lot of things when you start driving a truck that are really different from driving a regular pickup or a car. They're a lot wider, they're a lot longer, they're a lot bigger, they're a lot heavier. I already knew this, I just didn't know how drastic it really was. So, you gotta learn to use your jakes, you gotta learn how to use your brakes properly to not burn them up. they taught us a little bit about that in the school. And one of the things the guys said is, don't listen to everything I teach you in the school. I teach you how to pass a driving test through the DOT of our state. After that, there's a lot of little tips and tricks that he couldn't necessarily teach us because it's not in the curriculum, but he would tell us because they're things that are useful in the future when you're actually out on the road driving, by yourself in a truck or even with somebody in a truck. Completely different than trying to pass just the DOT driving test. So there was a lot of little things that I learned through him doing that. There's a lot of little things that I learned on my own after that, trying out for some of these companies. But back to what I started out with. One of the reasons I went with this school is because there was a trucking company attached to it. The trucking company was first. And there's like 2 brothers and a dad that run 3 different companies all under the same name. They all do similar work. Like, just let me put this out there as an example, kind of. The one place does like potato harvest, onion harvest, carrots, peas, that type of stuff. They own belt trailers and reefers. They do a lot of the harvest work. The brother owns only reefers. He does a lot of the back and forth reefer work locally, some over the road, here and there. And then I believe the dad did reefers too. But the local guy that did the belt trailers had all the farm exemptions. So he can work whatever he wants within 150 miles of home, any hours he wants. He owned old trucks, no ELDs except for I think 10 new ones they bought like a year or two before I joined their class. And the promise was if we go through their class, we can get into that company running potato harvest and running reefers on the off time. And they can put us on the insurance going through their class because the insurance trusts the instructor and the class and everything. So that was the promise. We're supposed to have a job right out of class. Go through the class, twiddling my thumbs. We went into the office like twice a week, 3 times a week. Visited with the gal in the office. Very nice ladies in the office. There was 2 of them that were very nice. One that was kind of shady that wasn't really in the office a lot. And then there was one of the bosses, the brother that was running the company, walks through all the time. The dad walked through sometimes. The other brother wasn't there because he had his own company to run, and he stayed fairly busy. But we'd go in there and talk with them all. We'd BS with the office ladies. We'd talk with the owner. Nothing. Didn't hear from him. It took them like a month and a half. Didn't hear anything from him. So we decided, and I say we, me and my dad were still talking, both of us, because we were both kind of thinking we wanted to get something kind of local, like these guys were offering. And we wanted to run local runs so we could be home every night, or at least on weekends and most nights during the week. So we start looking for another job. There's a lot of them on Craigslist. A lot of them want you to go over the road. So we were kind of skipping over. Excuse me a moment, I'm going to roll my window down. It's getting hot in here. So we were skipping over a lot of them that wanted to go over the road. We were skipping over a lot that wanted to go regional. Because we didn't really want regional. We wanted to be home as much as possible. Not out most of the week and then back for a weekend kind of thing. Or maybe 1 or 2 nights you get home. We wanted like 5 days a week minimum home. So we were looking, just put in a bunch of applications, and Craigslist, a lot of the trucking companies would like you to email a resume. So I was emailing my resume like crazy. My dad was emailing some of these guys with his resume. Got a call finally. I'm not gonna say the company name, but you've probably seen them. They're kind of maroon colored trucks. They're fairly nice trucks, newer Kenworths, nice trucks. Reefer company. They had a local run. They wanted me to run literally about an hour 15 away from where I live. And literally run from there to where I live and back 3 to 4 times a day. That was it. Like, easy job. Kenworth, I think it was a T660 or T680, something like that. Nice Kenworth. I may have got my terminology wrong, but newer. I'm a fan of old trucks. I don't know a lot about newer trucks. I worked on them. Didn't really pay attention to what they were called. But yeah, newer trucks, nice trucks. Easy job. They had me all set up for it. The only problem is my lack of experience. School doesn't count to anybody else. It counted to them because they were the owners of it. They had say-so of what happened in the school. They knew what the school was producing. And the school was producing great drivers, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of drivers out there in my state that went through this school and are doing really good. So, credibility doesn't count towards them. Yes, I have a Class A, so obviously the school did good. They wanted to bring me in. They wanted to put me on a trainer for a while. They had a temporary guy to take care of the route that they wanted me for, because the guy that was doing the route was retiring. They had a temporary for him for now. They wanted to hire me for a full-time. They wanted to put me on with a trainer for a couple of months, or for like a month, I think they said. They're going to put me on 4 weeks with a trainer, going regional. So like around my area within a couple of states. Home, maybe 2 or 3 nights a week. They were looking at putting me on weekends off. So, generous home time, even for a regional position. They were looking at getting me home as much as I possibly could, which was great for me, but still working 11-hour days and getting a good paycheck, getting good over-the-road experience. Well, sounds good, right? Except for, I think I was on the phone with the guy twice a week for 3 weeks. And he finally said, yeah, we're hoping to get the trainer in, this weekend. Okay, cool. I'm going to be out of town this weekend, though. It was a long weekend. It was a 4-day weekend. There was a holiday, and those guys weren't going to be in on Friday for whatever reason. So I had a 4-day weekend. I had another side job for a friend of ours, hauling steers to a rodeo event. And it was about a 3-hour drive. Well, it was 4 hours when it was all said and done, 5 hours. Because I drove from my house an hour away to pick up trucks and trailers. And then I drove from their house 45 minutes down the road to pick up cows. And then I drove 3.5 hours to drop them off at this event center. Drop them off at the fairgrounds that they were going to. And then we drove home that night, spent the weekend at home, not doing anything. Went back, did a return trip. I'd missed a call from them, like Friday morning, somebody called me. Well, no, it was Friday afternoon because I didn't call them back before they closed because I was driving down the road. And like I said, I try to be a good driver. I don't talk on the phone while I'm driving. So I didn't get a call them back before they closed. Alright, fine. They're closed Monday for a holiday. I don't know why this person was working on Friday, but they were. They called me. I'll call them back Tuesday. I call them back first thing Tuesday morning. It's like 8 o'clock in the morning. And I get this lady that's like, well, we really wanted you to come down today. Okay, it's 8 o'clock in the morning. It's an hour away from me. Not even an hour away from me. I can be down there in an hour. Like, give me time to shower, throw clean clothes on. I'll be down there. She's like, okay, we'll get bus information. Click. I just told you I'm less than an hour away. I don't need a Greyhound to you. They wanted to put me on a bus and take me over there. Now, I'm not sure if this is true or not with my situation, but I did see a video that there are some companies that want to bus you to their terminal. They bus 40, 50 people at a time to their terminal, and they take like the top 10 guys and put them in trucks and get them on the road. And everybody else, have a nice day. They won't pay your bus fare to get back home. They strand you in their town. Luckily, this was an hour away. I kept refusing to take a bus. But even before I saw that recently, and this was quite a while ago when I even got the call. I never heard back from them. They told me they were going to call me back with bus information. They were going to call me right back. I got to go talk to somebody, get your bus information, I'll call you right back. Never happened. Like, I shit you not, it's been 2 months since that, and I still haven't heard anything from them. Not a peep. So I got fed up with it. I'm like, if they don't call me back today or tomorrow, I'm done. I'm not calling them. They won't talk to me unless I call them first. So I didn't get a call from them. I gave up. I took the rest of my, my day off there, and I took the next day and kind of twittered around. Got back on Craigslist, started putting in application after application after application. And I thought, you know what? This isn't working. I'm not going to find anything local. there's not enough local work here that are looking to hire somebody with zero experience, per se. Like, the only experience I had was maybe 1,000 miles or less through the training school. And a couple odds and ends here where I actually got to drive like a Class B truck. Or like a non-CDL truck for a farm. But, so I said, alright, I'll go regional. My dad still wants a local job so he can take care of the farm and everything. He doesn't rely on me a lot anymore, per se. Especially since I went to school. He did it by himself for quite a while. So, he said, yeah, that's great. If you want to go regional, that's fine. I'm still going to look for local. To take care of the farm. To be home every night. Because my mom can't take care of it by herself. I'm not trying to be mean or anything to my parents. I love them both dearly. But they're old. They're both getting up there in age. So, my mom can't take care of it by herself. She's got medical issues on top of being old. And on top of being, you know, the typical female. I'm not trying to make anything... I'm not trying to make anybody mad. I'm not trying to offend anybody. But she is the one that kind of... She looks at things and goes, well, I don't think I could do that. Even though it's not that hard of a job, she just doesn't really want to. So there's certain little things that she won't do that my dad has to do for her. But she can't take care of a farm herself, so Dad's like, I'm gonna find a local one. I'm gonna keep pushing. I said, you know what? I'm not worried about that. I'm gonna go regional. I don't care if I'm only home, you know, on a weekend, or if I'm home 1 or 2 nights a week here and there. I guess I'll look for a regional job. I'll stay within my area. Within a few states would be great. That way I can swing through and stop by home on like my 36-hour reset or something sometimes, or stop by for a 10-hour break, or even stop by for a 30-minute break. Get some lunch, visit with the parents, you know, cool stuff. Couldn't find anything. Application after application after application. Bam, all of a sudden, I put an application in, 20 minutes later I got a call. It's like, hey, this is so-and-so from so-and-so. We want to see what you got, you know. You don't have any experience. That's not a big deal to us. We'll run it through with our insurance first. I'm sure we'll be able to do that. We're down a driver. We need a driver. We have 1 truck, 2 trailers. We need a driver. We work in this tri-state area that I live close to. It's not the tri-state area, but there's 3 states that are like butted up against each other. I don't want to tell anybody exactly where that's at, because some people are just dicks, but they run pretty much the 3 states doing construction work. All I would be doing was running a flatbed and a day cab Freightliner, running materials to all these job sites. That's it, you know, 70 hours a week, driving equipment, material, driving people sometimes, you know. Not hard work, but decently hard, but not like hard. Running flatbed, no tarps. I hadn't really had any experience with flatbed, but I decided to give it a try. I went to the city that they're located in, which is about an hour away. Really close to where we picked up cows at, actually. But, about an hour away. Went and talked to the guy. We checked out the truck. He told me basically what all I'd be doing. They had a load ready to go. You know, they wanted me to start Monday because they had a load ready to go right now. So he handed me all this employment paperwork. He said, bring this stuff back Monday. Bring your driver's license, social security, your medical card, and all this employment paperwork. We'll get you set up with our time cards. There's no e-log in the truck right now. They had a thing to get an e-log on an app on your phone, but they didn't know what it was. They had no idea how to use it. The guy before didn't really use it. He used paper logs. So they said, don't worry, we'll get you paper logs. We'll get you set up. We want you here Monday. Turn all this stuff in. We'll send you out. You know, and we need to reload it because the guy loaded it wrong. He put everything on the front. So it was way heavy on the drive axles, nothing on the trailer axles. So we need to move a bunch of this stuff to the trailer axles. Show up Monday, turn my paperwork in, good. I bought some new stuff. I bought a Bluetooth. I brought a cooler. I already had a cooler, but I brought it, filled it full of water and energy drinks and, you know, some sandwich meat and shit like that, so I can go on the road, because he was telling me, you'll probably be out a couple of nights this week already, because you're going a long distance, and we try to run legal on our logs, so I brought all this stuff with me. Good news, they were delayed. They didn't have a way to unload me. So I spent the day in the yard, reloading the trailer, driving the truck around, they actually let me take it out on like probably a 60-mile trip to figure out how the truck works, you know, learn how it pulls. We had 75,000 plus on there. Truck, trailer, load, everything. It was underweight by a little bit. It was like 70, almost 7,600 or 76,000. But they said, yeah, this is pretty much a load for you. This is mostly what we run is about this weight. So take it on a trip, learn how the truck works, learn how it pulls, learn how the trailer feels, you know, figure everything out so you can drive it well. Because we're kicking you out on your own. Like, that was the biggest scary part. Is they're like, we're kicking you out on your own. You're taking this truck. It's going to be you and the road. So, okay, cool. Fair enough. A little nervous, but they let me have a practice run at it. Drove it around, parked at the yard. I was there probably 6 hours that day. I started at 6 in the morning. I woke up at 4 just to get there on time. Started at 6 in the morning. I was done by noon. I was like, well, I don't really want to get you started on any yard work particularly. Other than that, there's nothing really to do. Don't have a way to unload you yet. So why don't you take the day off, go home, get some sleep, come back at 4 in the morning tomorrow. Great, I'm going to have to wake up at 2. Come back at 4 in the morning tomorrow, we'll ship you out. Unless you hear from me sooner. So I go home. So it was like 4:30, so 4.5 hours later. I drove an hour home, went to bed, slept for about an hour, woke up, got something to drink, get a call from my boss. He's like, hey, we still don't have a way to unload you. So, why don't you take tomorrow off? Okay, cool, thank you. I guess that's fine. So, I took the next day off. Whatever, I slept. I went back to sleep after he called me, and I slept till about 10 o'clock. Maybe, it was a little early now, about 9 o'clock. Woke up, ate dinner, screwed around till midnight, 1 o'clock-ish. Went to bed, so I can get some good sleep. Woke up around 7 or 8 the next morning, I believe, because I couldn't sleep anymore. My dad woke me up. He's like, hey, come help me with shit. So, went out tooling around the farm, doing stuff around here. Since I had that extra opportunity, I had that extra day to work on stuff. About 4 o'clock that afternoon, I get a call from my boss. Hey, guess what? The driver you're supposed to replace just randomly showed up. Apparently it's like the owner's son or grandson or something. I don't know for sure, but it's like, yeah, he just showed up. So we're going to give him another shot. We don't need you. You can look for other employment if you want, or you can wait around to see if we'll call you back to see if this guy doesn't work out or not. But, you know, no hard feelings. We'll pay you for Monday. Don't worry about coming in, man. But thank you for your time and blah, 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 blah. All this, you know, nicey bullshit. Okay, so now I'm without a job again. And by this point, I'd already been like 2 months without a job. I'm running out of money. All of my money was drained. Luckily, my grandpa has some money. He was lending me money to actually get to a job. So I'm sitting here out of money. Like, well, what the hell? Well, I had left something in the truck. To drive, I need prescription glasses. Apparently, I'm blind in one eye. Blind in one eye, can't see out of the other. Ooh, that was weird. I personally think I'm fine, but you know what? We could turn a light on in here. I don't know why those lights don't work. Probably because... Ooh, my batteries are low too. Probably because I don't have the truck on. They should work though, I thought. There we go. So, yeah, that's weird. So, basically, I need prescription glasses to drive because I can't see out of one eye correctly. So, I left my glasses in the truck on accident. I have a pair of prescription sunglasses and I have a pair of clear glasses. I left my clear ones in the truck because I was using my sunglasses. Shit. Or no, I left my sunglasses in the truck because it was a rainy day. I was using my clear glasses. Shit. I need my sunglasses. It's not rainy the next day. So I call them up. I'm like, hey, I left my glasses in the truck. I was going to come get them tomorrow when you called me in. But if you guys aren't going to call me in tomorrow, can I get my glasses? And he's like, yeah. I'll be down in Pasco tomorrow. I just said my town. Fuck. I'll be down there in the area tomorrow. I will run them down to you. and I'll drop them off and we'll talk about payment and everything for Monday. I was like, oh, okay, fine. So he brings them down the next day. He calls me. It's like, hey, bud, I left your glasses with this guy over here at this warehouse that we went to get parts from. He's got your glasses and everything, man. Just run over there and tell him you're here for your glasses and that I left them there for you and blah 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 blah. Okay, I thought you were gonna meet me personally and hand me my glasses in person, and we're gonna talk about getting paid for Monday. Okay, whatever. I need my glasses. I'm getting irritated with this guy, so run over there, get my glasses. No mention of pay. The guys didn't even know who the hell I was or what I was talking about at first. And then the one guy from the back comes out and goes, oh yeah, I know who you are. They're right here behind the printer. Here you go, man. Cool. So I go back home. Friday rolls around. I'm checking my bank account. I had all my direct deposit stuff already done. Checking my bank account. No money. I was supposed to get paid for Monday. Call the guy up. Like, hey, bud, I kind of need that money. I'm out of money. I need cash. I have no fuel money. You said you're going to pay me for Monday. Where's it at? He said, oh, well, we do every other week, direct deposit and all this stuff. Weird. Okay. That's not going to work for me. You were supposed to give me money on Wednesday, or we were supposed to talk about it or whatever when you gave me my glasses back that you didn't even show up to meet me in person for. Kind of shady. So what's the deal here, man? And he's like, well, here, I can give you the number to this other gal at the office, at a different office. He's the only guy that I ever met at that office. There's a couple construction guys running around, but he's the only authority I ever met at that office. It's like, I can give you this lady's number and she'll help you out. She'll help you out with your bank stuff. Get out of here, bug. So I called this lady up, and she's like, oh yeah, I don't know what's going on there. I mean, if they laid you off, they're supposed to pay you, within a certain amount of time. I think 72 hours or whatever. Yeah, it's been all week. I mean, they laid me off technically at 3:30, 4 o'clock on a Tuesday. It's now noon on Friday by the time I got this point. It's noon on Friday. It's like, oh yeah, okay, well, we have your direct deposit information. We have your, employment information. We will put a check in the mail today. You will have it next week, Monday or Tuesday. Awesome, thank you. That's what I wanted to hear. I get a check in the mail Monday. It's all right, cool. I'm happy now. Not really, but I'm happy now. I got at least, I got $100 for working on Monday. 6 hours. So, it evened out all right. And that's after taxes. I was supposed to be getting a good check, I was supposed to be making $20 an hour. I don't know what exactly he paid me for, but he paid me he paid me for being there 6 hours. I got $100 after taxes. So back to the internet I go. Application. Shit. Nothing. Finally get a number from a friend of mine that's like, hey, call this guy up. He's looking for guys to run cherry harvest. Call the guy up. And he's like, oh yeah, I'm looking for drivers right now. I mean, how old are you? 21. He said, all right, fresh out of the thing. We could deal with that. Would you like to go to Idaho to pick up new trucks? If I paid for your tickets, flew you down there, you pick up the truck and drive back. Okay. That sounds fine. It gives me a while to learn the truck that I'm going to be driving for you. Gives me a little bit of experience, I mean, I'm a little nervous to get out on the road because I've drove 60 miles in 2.5 months after my training course. So I'm a little nervous to get in the truck and just drive, on a highway, but I figure I did good in my class. I'm a truck driver now. I'm going to start thinking like one. Sure, I can do that. The guy's like, all right, can you start in 2 weeks? We're going to start harvesting here, or I guess it was 4 weeks. 3 weeks, maybe. He's like, yeah, we're going to start harvesting here 3 weeks from now. And you're going to come in on Monday. Basically, we're working 7 days a week, 11-hour days. We're not going to go much over that. You might be working 12s if you're working in the field instead of on the road, but we'll give you plenty of time off to sleep. 11-hour days. brand new trucks that I just bought. I don't know if they're brand new, but new to him. New trucks, new trailers, running cherry harvest. He said, hey, this only lasts for like 3 months. You're going to be coming in basically at like noon. So that's when they get the cherry harvest started, is late in the morning. Because they got to wait for the dew to clear and everything. You'll basically be starting at noon, running till like 11 o'clock at night. And then you go home and you sleep for 12 hours if you want. And then he said, we have an over-the-road opportunity too. This only lasts for a couple of months until cherries are done, growing. So like early to mid-August by this point was going to be the end of my employment there. And he said, we take, reefers full of our products from, all these farmers locally, not just the cherries, but from all the farmers locally. And we run them down to like almost the Mexican border, drop them off, and pick up frozen vegetables to bring back. So, fairly long trip from, I already dropped one hint in the video, I might as well give you another one. Somewhat close to the Canadian border, down to the Mexican border, and back. Not a bad day's work. He said you'd probably be doing maybe 1 or 2 loads a week, down, back. Nothing major. And that lasts all winter. And then when cherry harvest comes up again, we'll have you harvesting cherries again. Cool, man. So, are you interested? And I said, hell yeah. And I said, hey, my dad's looking for a job just like this, at least for the cherry harvest, so he can stay local and be home every night and be able to take care of the farm. He's like, cool, I could always use more drivers. I'll send both of you guys to pick up trucks. It's like, all right, cool. He's like, let me run some numbers, let me crunch some numbers, do some paperwork. I will call you guys back either today or tomorrow. Today and tomorrow disappeared. This was like noon, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. We finally got back to this guy, but the rest of the day passed. I didn't hear anything from him. The next day completely passed. Didn't hear anything from him. It's like noon, 2 days after we called him. Didn't hear anything. Call the guy up. Ring, 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 ring. Voicemail. Not set up. Shit. Can't leave my name and number because he doesn't have a voicemail. He won't answer his phone. So I wait 2 more days. Ring him up again. Nothing. My dad rings him up. Nothing. Straight to voicemail. No voicemail set up. Can't leave a name or number. Can't do nothing. The guy will not answer his phone. Shit. Back to the internet. Application. Resume. Finally get a call from another one. It's like, hey, you're interested in a regional job. How old are you? 21. How long you had your license? A couple of months. Well, shit. Have you ever filled out employment paperwork for anybody? Yeah, I had a job that lasted for a day. That was like, okay, what happened there? I told him the story. Same story I said on here. I'm not going to go through it again. The guy's like, well, shit. I'd love to help you, but unfortunately, since you filled out application paperwork and employment paperwork for another company, we can't do anything. If you were fresh out of school, we could literally pick you up off the street, put you with our training program, we could get you in a truck for a while, and then you could be on your own. But that little bit of application paperwork and the 6 hours I put in for another company screwed it over. They couldn't do anything for me. Great. Application, resume. Finally get a call from another guy. We want you to come drive a Class B truck. Well, I don't want to drive a Class B, man. I want to drive a Class A. Went over there. They're like, yeah, we'll pay you $13 an hour. You get overtime, but, some days it's 20 hours a week. Some days it's 70 hours a week. You don't really know. We're in a busy season right now as a moving company. A busy season right now. A lot of people are moving, wanting shit moved. But, here in a month, it might be 20 hours a week. You might not even be making a full check. First off, $13 an hour was what I was making way back before I went to school at a mechanic shop. $15 an hour was what I was making before I decided to get my CDL. That was after like 3 years of already being in mechanicing. So, I mean, I was already at the shit end of the stick. Well, more than that, I was at the other place for 4 years, so 5 years into mechanicking. Almost. So, I turned that job down. I said, I'll think about it. I didn't get back to him. I just let it go, man. Nice enough guy, nice enough company. The guys seemed great. They were really happy and peppy, but I can't do it, man. I can't degrade myself to driving a Class B straight truck for $13 an hour. That's a complete downgrade on pay. That's not what I really wanted in the first place. It's not what I signed up for. Yeah, it's a job, but cringy. Not that, I mean, if worst case scenario, I probably should have took it, but knowing what I know now, I'm glad I didn't. But application. Wheat farmer calls me up. He's like, hey man, we're an hour away, almost where the last company I worked for was, out in the middle of nowhere. We're a wheat farming company. We need somebody to drive wheat trucks. Cool. Run up there, interview with the guy. He's like, yeah, basically we got a Freightliner with a Super 10 and a Pete with a 10-speed. Both of them are older, but like 2006, 2007 trucks. We need somebody to drive them. Do you have your doubles endorsement? Yes, I do. The only thing I didn't get was hazmat, and that's because that's a lot of work. And those of you guys that have hazmat, I bow my hat to you. You guys are amazing, because not only is hazmat jobs dangerous in a lot of cases, there's a lot of work to get a hazmat on your license. So hats off to you guys. You guys are great. I didn't really want to do that. I didn't want to deal with chemicals and tankers and everything. I do have my tankers endorsement. I just didn't get hazmat. I probably should have. There's a lot of jobs that do hazmat that pay really well, that aren't dangerous at all. I just didn't want to go through that extra 5 steps of work to get the hazmat. I'm not saying that's 5 steps of work, really. For those of you that want to get your hazmat, do it. There's a lot of opportunities, but I had my doubles. It's like, cool, perfect. You'll be hauling basically like like I think you said 38 foot with a 20-something foot pub. 24 foot pub. Okay, cool. It's like, you ever hauled doubles before? No, I'm fresh out of school. I've hauled straight truck and a 53 foot and a 48 foot reefer. That's it. And a 53 foot flatbed. Step deck flatbed. Really nice flatbed, actually, but we won't get into details there again. So guys, like, okay, well, you sound like the candidate we're looking for. There's a couple other guys we got to interview. I'll get back to you this weekend. Cool. Well, I was kind of busy that weekend. I mean, I interviewed, I think, on Monday or Tuesday. So I was kind of busy, a little bit busy on the week. It was Saturday. We went to another roping. Different rodeo event. I wasn't hauling cows this time. I was working for shoot help. Like I said, jack of all trades, master of none. Helping out with shoots at a different rodeo at a different place. So I texted the person that originally texted me. I was like, hey man, I haven't heard from anybody for a while. Just seeing what's going on, The next day was Sunday. So I caught a break at like 4 in the afternoon. Called the guy that I interviewed with. I got his number at the interview. I'm like, hey man, I haven't heard shit. Just wondering what the hell's going on. If you guys are going to hire me or not, I really need to know. Because if you're not going to hire me, I'm going to look for a different job, Didn't hear anything. So the next day, Monday, application, resume. Nothing. Tuesday, application, resume. Boom. Another one. 20 minutes after I put my resume in online, I get a call. This guy's like, hey man, you look like the candidate we're looking for. Again, I'm like, oh yeah, sure, that's what the last 2 guys said. Look like the guy we're looking for. Why don't you come in and interview with me tomorrow? I'll show you around, show you the trucks and everything. See if you really want to do this or not. If you do, we'll jump you on some employment paperwork. It's a somewhat local, sometimes regional, sometimes long haul if you really want it. Like, cool, that sounds perfect. I can work local and regional if I really liked it, if I decide I like trucking and I want to stick with this industry, which at this exact point I think I do. But I'm thinking, long term, if I don't like trucking, I can still fall back on mechanicking. But I'm in it for the long run. I want to see what this job's about. put me in the truck. He's like, all right, come interview with me tomorrow. Meet me here at like, say 10:30. I'll have all my morning shit done. Meet me here at 10:30. Run an interview on you. If you're ready to go, we'll slap down some employment stuff. I go over there at 10:30. It's this little rinky-dink shop. And the guy's like, yeah, basically we run reefers. We run cold stuff. No touch freight for the most part. You back in, they load you or unload you. You go to your destination, you fill out paperwork, turn it in, get paperwork from the other guys, swap loads around, and just go, go, go. Go, cat, go, you know? And he's like, well, this is our facility. We do have this place next door. Don't go in there. You will get fired because it's rented to somebody else. It's his building, but it's rented to somebody else. The only person allowed in there is the shop guy, Tony. And he's the one that loads and unloads the trucks here at this shop. Here's the truck you'll probably be driving. It's a old Pete. It's like a 2006 or 2008. It's got the PACCAR motor and 10-speed transmission. All the emissions, of course. Damn it. But decent truck. I'm like, all right. He's like, let's see if you can drive. It's just bobtailed. It needs a set of tires to go over the road. We'll get you a set of tires if you're hired on. We'll put a set of tires on this thing. We'll get your trailer. We'll get you set up. We'll get you going. It's like, let's see if you can drive first. Cool, 10-speed. I'm used to that. Only issue is it shifted kind of weird, so the guy thought I was a little less than what I actually told him I was. But he said, yeah, I mean, you're super green, right out of school. Don't have any over-the-road experience yet. But I've got 2 guys literally hired on, this year that were in the same position, and they're doing good right now. So I'm willing to make a bet on you. And he's like, you ready to go? I'm like, hell yeah. He's like, go take your piss test for me, and get your driving record, and turn that stuff in, and then tomorrow we'll get you, set up with employment stuff. Or come in on Friday. This was like Wednesday. So he's like, get that stuff turned in by tomorrow. Get your piss test and your driving record turned in by tomorrow. And Friday we'll set you up with some paperwork. Cool. I literally ran right over to the physician's place. Got a drug test done surprisingly fast. Was in and out in 30 minutes. I shit you not. I was there less than 30 minutes for the whole thing. Really fast day. So I threw, my drug test and my driving record right there, same day. Got him back to him. He's like, cool, sounds great. I will see you here at 8:30 a.m. on Friday. It's like, all right, it sounds good, man. So I ran home, screwed around for the rest of Wednesday and Thursday and did, at home stuff. Show up at 8:30 Friday, I'm ready to go. I got my energy drink. I got, I'm ready to go. He's like, awesome. He introduced me to the shop guy. He's like, this is Tony. This guy I was telling you about the other day. He's a shop guy. Basically, if you need parts for your truck, there's a loft upstairs. Ask him. He'll go run and grab your parts. Leave them here in the office. You just come by, grab them, put them in your truck. All right. If you need any fluids or wiper blades or lights or quick shit like that, stuff that's not majorly mechanical that you need to go shop for. Introduced me to dispatcher. He's like, this will be your dispatcher. She's really cool about shit. Exchange numbers. So I exchanged numbers with the dispatcher. So it's like, she's really cool. She'll get you jobs. She's going to try to set you up with weekends off pretty much when you get over the road. He's like, for the first, say, 3 months, I'm going to set you up doing, local work. Get your feet under you. Get you used to driving the truck. Get you used to driving over the road. We got a couple places right here, local, that we'll have you run to. Go back and forth, He's like, basically that's it. We'll run you for 3 months. If you like it, you're still here, you're still good, you're improving, we'll give you a raise, and we'll turn you loose on some more stuff. Awesome. It takes me over to, there's 2 buildings right next to each other, and basically they just transfer freight from one to another. These guys have stuff these guys want, these guys have stuff these guys want, so there's a guy over there running loads back and forth all day, every day, pretty much. He introduced me to this guy. He's like, you're going to stick with him today. I was like, rookie, jump in the passenger seat. He calls the other guy rookie. He's like, rookie, jump in the passenger seat. This guy's a new driver. He's going to drive for you today. All you got to do is show him the ropes. Show him the paperwork. Show him how you do it. Introduce him to the guys around the office. And the guys back in the freezers and everything. Show him the ropes. Let him drive. Let him practice backing in, see how he's doing. Let me know, if he's good at backing in or if he's not good at backing in. I was okay at backing in. It's a little different than backing through cones. I will tell you that for you new drivers that are going through school or just getting through school. When you're backing into a dock, those cones don't mean shit because there's no cones in a dock 90% of the time. You're backing in between two yellow lines that go literally down the strip and up the doors. Sometimes they don't even do that. But you're backing in blind pretty much. There's no markers to tell you what to do. You just want to remember your schooling. Get out and look as much as possible. Don't worry about pull-ups or get-outs. They're not checked or marked, or you won't lose points or whatever for doing them there in the actual facility. So do it right, do it good, back into the docks nice and slow so you don't hammer the trailers. The guy literally showed me, he's like, take a look at this trailer. There's about a 4-foot strip in the back, and then a big weld right up the side of the trailer. And there's a plate of steel across the front. He's like, that's from the last guy. Last guy ruined this trailer because he'd slam them into the docks. Like, this whole thing was buckled in. We lost 3 feet of trailer from this guy. Just had that trailer fixed. Just had the floor redone, had a plate welded over top of it because it wasn't trustworthy. Had the sides stretched back out and redone. The doors are still fucked up. One door closes, one kind of, it's wrinkled. So the bottom closes and the top doesn't. It's like, be careful when you back into these docks. Just ever so slightly bump when you hit the stop. You just want to kiss it. And then, put it in, leave it in reverse and like shove up against it a little bit more to make sure you're solid. And then leave it there. Wait till these guys are done. I like the way these guys do it. I don't know if it's the same way at all facilities, but the 3 facilities, here, bug. The 3 facilities I've been to all do it. A guy will come out with a lock. He will unhook one of your trailer lines. He unhooks the red line so you can't go anywhere. He puts the lock either on the line of the truck or on the thing of the trailer so you cannot hook that trailer back up. And then he goes and unloads and loads. So you're stuck there until he's done loading and unloading. And then he comes back out and unlocks you and you can hook your trailer back up, build your air up, and leave and go wherever you're going next. I really like the way those guys do it. I think that's a great way to do it. I appreciate that. It's really nice. It's really easy. So he had me doing that Friday. He had me come in Monday and do that again. Now this is where it gets hairy because today is Tuesday. Today's like the 3rd day I've worked for this company. Not gonna lie. 3rd day I've worked for this company. So far it's going really good, but he's like, technically we used all your training time already. Although you weren't there full days, I only worked like 6 hours each day. They were really slow Monday, so I got off with a little less than that. But I was like, technically we used all your training. We can't legally run you because we don't have your drug test for whatever reason. Usually those guys get back to you within like 48 hours. They're taking forever. I was like, I've had this happen before. It's happened to like 5 different guys over the years. I'll give them a call. I'll bitch them out. They'll get your shit here within a day or 2. Tomorrow's 4th of July. He's like, we're not working 4th of July. Nobody's working. Not you, not me, not anybody in this shop. We're all going home for 4th of July. It's going to be a nice day off. So basically what we're going to have you do is go home and come back Thursday. 8:30 a.m. on Thursday. We'll get you set up. We'll get you running. You're going to work Thursday and Friday. We're probably going to give you the weekend off. And then harvest is starting. So we're going to run your ass off. You're going to be working as many hours as you would like to. Like, it's going to be 6 to 7 days a week. You're going to probably get 8 to 10 hour days at least. We're going to run a lot during harvest. And it's not just going to be me either. It's going to be the boss. It's going to be me. It's going to be the guy in the shop. It's going to have to drive a truck. The other guy that's running between the 2 facilities, he's going to be doing that all day. There's, I want to see, he said like 8 people. Give me just a second. That was nasty. I want to say he said there's like 8 people in the shop, like in the company in this section. He went up actually and bought the other half of the company from his partner. He went up and paid for the facility and everything and met up with the guy because his partner wants out. So he owns the whole company now. And so he said, yeah, basically everybody in the company right now, all 8 guys here, and I'm pretty sure the other guys at the other section are going to be running too, but everybody's going to be running their ass off until about September. So we want you ready to go. So we're going to make sure that we have your drug test. We're going to make sure you're legal for employment. I've already filled out all the employment paperwork and handed it into them. So they're like, you got your employment paperwork, you got your direct deposit. You're ready to go. Like, we're paying you for Friday and Monday anyway. But you're going to get a big check once we get your drug test and we get you going. And you're going to be making a lot here in the next couple weeks. It's like, I'm a chubby guy. So he looks at me and goes, you're going to lose weight. You're going to be tired. You're going to want to bring lots of water. Maybe bring one of those bands that you soak in water and wrap around you to keep you cool, because it's going to get hot. Some of the trucks don't have AC. So yeah, you're going to want to prepare for this. It's going to whoop your ass. And if you're still here, if you're still with me in September, he said, you know, that's a good sign, man. He said, you're going to make it in this company if you can make it past this. And I'm like, sign me up, man. I mean, I don't think I'm ready for it, but I'm ready for it, if that makes any sense. Like, physically, mentally, I don't think I'm ready. But the fact of the matter that I finally have a job, I'm doing what I like, I've had that change of pace that I've wanted, I'm gonna take it and run. I'm gonna go. So I am ready in that aspect. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna try to do my best at this company. I'm gonna try to prove myself as a truck driver. I'm gonna get that experience. And I think it's gonna be good. So he's like, alright, that sounds great, man. Slight problem though. There was an issue with one of the trucks that he wants to use. He's telling me that there's gonna be like 3 trucks. They're gonna be rotating around those 2 places in there's 2 places, the facility, whatever the fuck. There's gonna be 3 trucks running continuously. One person running 3 trucks all day. There's gonna be 4 people to keep those suckers running 24 hours. He said there might be other stuff going on in the middle too. We'll get you a full day's work in, but you'll be busting your ass running those trucks for a fourth of the day, pretty much. 24 hours a day. So I could be working night shift, I could be working a shitty afternoon shift, I could be working mid-morning, I could be working early morning. I don't know for sure yet. That's still to be decided when everything goes downhill and we jump on. Well, I would say uphill, actually, because I'm going to be making a lot of money, the company's going to be making a lot of money. Hopefully I'm going to be making a lot of good impressions with the boss, too. So, yeah. He's like, yeah, we got a couple issues with this truck. It's got air leaks. You're a mechanic. Help me fix it. Oh, got an itch in my nose. I'm like, alright, cool. There's an air leak under the dash that I know of because when I drove the truck Friday and Monday, I can hear them. Like, there's bad air leaks. And he's like, yeah. And the airbag for the suspension on the cab is leaking. It's just a day cab Mac. He's like, so the air suspension there is leaking. Like, if you sit there for 10 minutes, the air tanks are gone. They're just psh, and it takes forever to fill them back up because it's an old, dilapidated, wore-out truck. You gotta fire it up, rev it up, hold it there for probably 5 minutes, get it up to about 70 pounds. To turn the buzzer off, to release the brakes, to pull forward, the buzzer's back on already. So they're old, they're junk. He's like, fix the air leaks so we can use them a little more efficiently. Cool, man. I go home, I get my tools, I come back. I bust open the dash, trace down the source of this. It's actually underneath the dash. I didn't really need tools, but oh well. I did my mechanic duty. I figured out where shit was at. I made sure I knew exactly what was going on. Plus, when I had the dash open, there was no other leaks right there immediately underneath the gauge cluster, which is good, because that's where some leaks happen. That's where this leak was echoing from. It's actually down under, above the pedals. There's a little sensor in these Macs, and it's got 2 wires plugged into it and air going to it. And one of the pins wasn't really loose, but there was a hole right next to it in the pin slot itself. So when it's plugged in, you can't really feel the air. I unplugged it, and pfft, sure enough, there's a nice stream of air. So, replace the sensor, cool. Cheap and easy, right? It's an old Mac, might take a while to get parts. No part number on it. Well, shit. So I called the guy, I called my boss up. I'm like, hey man, there's no part number on this. What do you want me to do? Like, well, is there a load on the trailer? Yeah, there's a load on the trailer. The guys got the other truck. They brought another truck over for him to be more efficient and keep shit moving today. The guy's got the other truck right now, emptying it out. When he comes back over, you want me to tell him to empty this trailer out? It's like, yeah, have him go unload it, grab that part, let's run over to the parts store, see if we can get one, or at least get one ordered, and then we can stick that one back in so we can use it for the rest of the day. And airbag, same deal. I didn't see any part number on the outside, so I'm assuming the way airbags are, that it's either underneath the cab part, smushed where I cannot see it, or it's gone. There's no part number on it anymore. And we'll have to just take the bag off, take it into somebody, and say, hey, can you give me one of these? So he's like, don't worry about the bag today. We'll have you maybe come in this weekend and do it, on your off time. So have him run over, drop that trailer. We'll pull the part and go find at least the sensor. See if we can get some parts ordered. So I go over there. I talk to the guy. I'm like, hey man, boss wants us to unload this trailer so I can take the part and go get it fixed. He's like, alright, cool. So I pull around so I can go take the part off when I'm done. I go talk to the office ladies. I'm like, hey, got this truck, needs a part. Can we park it here for a little while? They're like, yeah, sure, don't block a door. We'll get you unloaded and you pull over to the overflow. So the guy pulls in, we're waiting on him to get overloaded, or waiting on him to get unloaded. Boss pulls up and says, hey, you know what? While you're waiting on that, just have him get loaded up. They got more loads to come out of this facility. Load him up, take him over there, we'll come back for the part later. Like, I got another thing for you to do. Since we're not legally allowed to work you right now, not legally allowed to have loads, you can do a favor, and you will get paid for it. Your truck, the truck I'm going to be driving, is sitting there doing nothing. And we have a trailer we need to go pick up to have fixed at another place. They just did some work on the reefer. We need work on the floor on the inside. And the guys that were working on the reefer don't do anything with the rest of the trailer. They're Thermal King. They work on reefers only. So we ran over to the shop, grabbed the truck, grabbed the old Pete, ran over to Thermal King, grabbed the trailer, ran it down the street, dropped it off with these guys. It's like, hey, we're going to be busy next week. We got harvest coming up. It's time to bust ass. This truck needs a wash desperately. It's needed one for a long time. Follow me over to the car wash. We'll get this truck washed off real quick. Pull over there, get the truck wash going. He's like, yeah, pretty much. When we're done, we'll go park this back at the shop, run over there, grab that part, get parts ordered, and you'll be done for the day, Like, all right, cool, easy day. It's only like noon. We've been at it for a couple hours. No big deal. Waiting on the truck to get washed, we get a call. Hey, this Mac guy starting to make a rattling noise or like a knocking noise. I heard knocking noise. It's like Mac started making a knocking noise and now it just won't go anywhere. It won't go into gear, it won't go forward, it won't go backwards. I'm stuck in the driveway in the facility with a full load. Boss looks at me and goes, did you hear that? Yes, sir, I heard knocking noise. That's never good. And he's like, when you're done with that, I guess, take it over to the facility. He's going to have to use it for that other trailer. Get that second trailer going still. So I'm going to take it off and go check it out. He jumps in his truck and runs. He said, just meet us over there when you're done with the wash. They're like halfway through the wash. I think they took like 15 minutes. So they're like 8 minutes in probably. So he runs over there to check out what's wrong with his truck. They're done with the wash. They're like, yeah, get your truck out of here. We got more trucks coming in later today. Thank you guys. You guys are awesome. My truck looks great because it is clean as a whistle. Whew. So I jump in the truck, take off, go over there. Pull up, back up, hook the trailer up. The boss walks over and says, how much do you think a differential is? Well, I'm not sure. He's like, well, take a guess. Like, I think the last one I heard of, I've never put a differential in a big truck. Last one I heard of was like $600 or $800, maybe $1,000. Because like, last one I did was about $6,000. I think I missed a zero there, bud. I was like, yeah. This is an old, beat-up Mac with air leaks that now has no rear diff that will engage. Like, luckily, it engaged enough he can pull out from underneath the trailer and pull off to the side, out of the way, in their overflow. So, the truck's not in the way of anything. trailer's in the way. So I back my truck under it, pick it up. And he's just like, I guess you're using the Pete today. Because there was another Pete that he was using. They got 2 Macs, and they had another Pete show up today that the guy wasn't taking till late in the afternoon. So they had 2 trailers so the guy can be quicker with the loads. Like, I guess you're using the Pete's today. Since my truck's not being used yet because of the fact that I just started and it needs a set of tires before it can go over the road still. So, hook the trailer up, keep doing your job, keep doing what you're doing, we'll look into this. Okay, on our way back over, we're thinking, fuck, man. $6,000 or $7,000 to replace the rear end of that. It's a single rear axle, so it's not like we can just disconnect everything, pull the guts out, and just run it. You know, with the front diff. Like, there's no back diff. It's the front diff. It's the only diff. So there's nothing we can do with it. The guy's like, I don't know if it's worth putting six or $7,000 into that old piece of shit right now. He's like, I'm not even worried about it breaking down, honestly. Like, that's scary. Usually I'm freaking out over shit like that. Not even worried about this one breaking down. It's like, fuck it. Leave it there. You don't need to work on it. Don't do no good to have it air leak free if the rear diff isn't working in it. So he took me back to my truck and said, you're done for today. Go home. We'll get your drug test and everything. Come back on Thursday. Enjoy your 4th. I know I will. We'll be drinking, having fun, blowing shit up, as every American should. We'll see you here on Thursday. And we'll get you going then. After that, I don't know, because that was the end of my day. I came home, hauled a load of hay in my old Ford here. It's time for bed. I decided to make a YouTube video before bed because I was wanting to do it Monday, but I was wanting to do it Sunday, but I didn't have time to. I was trying to do it Monday, but I didn't get an opportunity. So basically, I am a sitting duck. I finally have a job. I finally jumped careers into a career I really want. I've had a lot of shit going on, so hopefully the transition into the YouTube channel is that maybe I'll get some moto vlogs going on. I've seen a lot of guys on YouTube, a lot of guys and girls. If you know who Allie Knight is, I've been watching a lot of her trucking videos, you know, in the last year. A few more recently. I've been picking up a lot of tips and tricks from her. I've been picking up a lot of tips and tricks from a lot of other guys that are doing a lot of over-the-road, a lot of regional, doing a lot of truck driving. I've been picking up a lot of tips off of YouTube channels that do the moto vlogging with the semis. And I think I might start doing a lot more of that, and hopefully my channel will pick up. I mean pick up as in I'll post more on it. I'm not expecting, God, I can't talk today. I'm not expecting to get, you know, 1 million views or anything, or 1 million subscribers, or none of that shit right off the bat, but just to have a few thousand subscribers and, you know, a few thousand views would be awesome. And to actually post what I want and have, you know, a YouTube channel up that's actually active and has videos going up on a regular basis would be cool. So hopefully there will be cool things coming up to the YouTube channel. I'm going to try to wrap it up. I've been at it for an hour. Hopefully there will be things like the moto vlog. I'll do a walk around of my awesome truck that I've got. I really like it. Hopefully I'll do some more, you know, on the road stuff, a little more vlog type stuff. Maybe I'll do some weekend stuff when I'm not working. I'll finally get some more videos coming up, and maybe do some more like this where I'm just kind of sitting down talking to the camera, because this was kind of an update thing on my life since my pretty much first video. I started way back when I was going to school, you know, so way back when I started posting on my channel. But hopefully there will be a lot more on it. Hopefully we'll get the channel rolling a little bit. I think that'd be awesome. So thank you to those who watch. For those who don't, you're missing out. Not really. You're not missing out on anything yet, but, you know, jump on my channel early. Hopefully I'll get it going. Hopefully I'll get a lot of encouragement. And if you are a truck driver, please feel free to leave me tips or tricks or inside information that other people may not tell me. I know truck driving's not for everybody. I'm really hoping it's for me. I'm really hoping I work out in it. Like I said, I got a fallback plan. If I get tired of trucking, I'll swap back to mechanicking. CDL is something you're never going to regret having, honestly. You might regret spending that money on it when you're not getting a job right off the bat like I did, but once you get a job, once you get out there, get some experience under your belt, it's worth having, in my opinion, because there's a lot of opportunities, even if it's not a truck driving job. A lot of opportunities if you got a Class A CDL that you're gonna get a higher spot on the totem pole with employment if you got a CDL, just because of the fact that you can do certain things that maybe that company wants. Sometimes it's not going to work at all, but there's opportunities out there that might get you in a better place if you have a CDL. And with that being said, I'm really going to try to wrap this up now. Thank you guys for watching. Like I said, leave tips, tricks, inside information, whatever you want. I really appreciate it. And yeah, hopefully the channel will take off a little more. I'll start putting more on it and not be so lazy about it. Hopefully there'll be another video up very soon. So I will see you guys then.